Disclaimer: this is not the history of the official Ninjago show. This is only canon to my series. This is also a recap of what would have happened in the series, not a full telling of the season. Anything that has happened up to this point happens the same way it does in the official Ninjago show. I hope you enjoy the video. The ninja were decorating the Temple of Air Jitsu for the Day of the Departed when they got a call from the Ninjago Museum of History saying that a ghostly figure was stealing something from the Hall of Weaponry. The ninja rushed over to the museum, but they were too late. Dr. Saunders, the museum's director, explained that the blade the ghostly figure stole once belonged to Sensei Yang. The ninja wondered why anyone would want the blade, and they hoped that Dr. Saunders would have some answers, but he explained that there was very little information on it. They left the museum, contemplating their next move. Sensei Yang flew over Cryptarium Prison. He broke in and walked through the halls, trying to find suitable candidates to join his army. He selected Samukai, Pythor, and Cryptor. Then Yang went to the Dark Island and revived Kozu. Lastly, he used a spell to bring back Chen and Moro. Yang explained that he needed each of the villains to collect a shard of the Departed Gem, so that he could merge the Departed Realm with Ninjago. Then he gave each of the villains a Departed Blade and told them to use them to harness the power of ghosts and increase their overall strength. The ninja get reports of villains attacking places all over Ninjago, so they split up to take on each of the villains at once. Lloyd took Moro, Kai took Chen, Jay took Pythor, Cole took Yang, Zane took Cryptor, Nia took Samukai, and Wu took Kozu. Each of the ninja found their respective villains stealing a green crystal, and when the ninja attempted to stop the villains, thanks to the Departed Blades, the villains were able to swiftly beat the ninja. Then the ninja headed back to the temple and tried figuring out what was happening. Sensei Wu remembered seeing a crystal like the shards the villains were collecting a long time ago. Sensei Wu started to tell his story as all the ninja listened. He explained that when he was young, he and Yang were very good friends. They would train and play together all the time. As they got older, Yang wanted to be remembered for something, so with Wu's help, he created Air Jitsu. He would eventually want to become a sensei and teach his students how to use Air Jitsu. He was quite strict, but it was only out of love for his students. Eventually, he made the Blade of Yang. It had the ability to allow the user to use ghostly abilities thanks to the Departed Gem. It could also create rifts to the Departed Realm. Once, Yang wanted to push the limits of the rifts that the Blade of Yang could create, but something went wrong and the rift collapsed, killing Yang's wife. It also turned Yang into a ghost, forcing him to haunt his very own temple. The Departed Gem was shattered into pieces, and those pieces were hidden across Ninjago. The Blade of Yang was donated to the Ninjago Museum of History. Thanks to Wu's story, the ninja were able to figure out that the villains were collecting pieces of the Departed Gem to merge the Departed Realm and Ninjago together. They also figured out that Yang had realized what he did wrong originally. To merge the Departed Realm and Ninjago, he needed to open a rift on the Day of the Departed when the Eclipse of the Dead was happening. But they had no idea what the motive was. They didn't have time to come up with a theory because Yang had all the shards, and his plan would surely be put into motion soon. The ninja rushed to Yang's training temple, and where they had figured out he had been staying. The ninja attacked the villains and fared better because they knew what to expect. The battle lasted a while, each warrior exchanging blow after blow. Cole rushed to stop Yang, but he was too late. Yang had reformed the Departed Gem. He placed it on the end of his blade and started to battle Cole. Night fell as both warriors exchanged blows. The moon started to eclipse as Yang explained that he would merge the Departed Realm in Ninjago, using the power of the Departed Gem and the boost of energy from the Eclipse of the Dead. Cole stared in disbelief as Yang started to rip a hole between the realms. Cole leapt at Yang, but Yang just swatted him back. The rift was getting bigger and bigger, and there was no way Cole could stop it. He tried leaping at Yang again, but Yang just stepped out of the way. Cole flew into the Departed Realm. He was surrounded by a strange, distorted wasteland. Just then, the rift behind him closed. A ghostly woman walked up to Cole and said his name. Cole asked who she was and how she knew his name. The woman explained that she was Minerva, Yang's wife, and that Cole was her son. Cole was taken aback by this, but he suddenly remembered a memory of his mother and father. He remembered that Yang and Minerva were indeed his parents. Cole asked what he needed to do so that he could get out and stop Yang. She told him that he needed to fuse the ghost and earth power to create a rift. Cole fused his powers to make a fusion dragon. He shot a blast into the air, and it exploded, creating a rift. Cole flew through to battle Yang. Cole blasted Yang with an energy ball from his dragon. Cole leapt off his dragon and drew his scythe. Yang darted at Cole in anger and started to fight him. The new rift kept expanding, but Cole was too occupied with Yang to stop it. The battle was long and grueling, and Yang explained that he was only trying to make their family whole again. Cole yelled, saying that Yang was the reason their family wasn't whole. If he hadn't been so greedy for power, the rift wouldn't have collapsed. And if Yang goes through with his plan, their family would be whole again, but there would be no Ninjago or departed realm to live in. Yang listened to Cole and realized he was wrong. He said he was sorry and was blinded by greed. They both stood and leapt at the villains. With the help of the rest of the ninja, they fought all the villains at once. Cryptor almost struck Cole in the back, but Moro blocked Cryptor's blade. The ninja were surprised, but Moro explained that he was done being a villain, and wished to do some good for once. Eventually the ninja defeated the villains. Cole asked Yang how to close the rift, but the sensei had no idea. It had grown too big to stop. Cole started to do spinjitzu, spinning right into the rift. He spun directly in the middle of the rift, spinning faster and faster, pouring all of his energy into closing the rift. The rift erupted with a loud bang and a blinding white light. Once the light had dispersed, the ninja could see Cole laying on the ground. They all rushed over, but something was different. He wasn't transparent and wasn't slightly glowing anymore. Zane went to check Cole's vitals, but Zane realized that Cole was human once again. Cole awoke with a start and asked if it worked. Zane pointed at the rift, and Cole smiled. When everyone asked what he did, Cole explained that he pushed all of his ghostly powers, except for a small bit, into the rift. The small bit was contained into his scar, so that he would be able to use his fusion powers. The ninja headed back to the temple, locked up the villains, sent Kozu back to the Dark Island, and Chen to the departed realm. They allowed Moro to stay, seeing as he helped. The ninjas stared out at the sunset as Ninjago was once again at peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? Jelly Dude Studios here, and thank you so much for watching Ninjago Archives Episode 1. This was to celebrate me hitting 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for that. I never thought it would get past, 30 or something like that. And it's also to explain the history of my series, because there's some changes I made, obviously Moro being on the team, if you've seen Ninjago Prime, he's dead in the show, so I wanted to clear that kind of stuff up. And yeah, I want to thank you so much for watching, and well, just remember, Ninja never quit.
Come on, let's go!